Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We are here broadcasting the bridge right now from CIEC. Today is November 12, 2017. We will have today the special participation of teacher Cesar Cordioli. He will bring to us the subject about the Calepino, and we all will have the honor to listen about him. Cesar is a person, a researcher, who lived and worked very close to Professor Valdo Vieira, and his work is dedicated to also stimulate other people to advance in conscientiology, and also to bring a great value to the contribution of Professor Valdo to conscientiology. I would like to present you Professor Cesar, okay? So, Professor Cesar is an entrepreneur with degrees in business administration, mechanical engineering production, and law. He started volunteering in conscientiology in 1988. He started teaching in 1994 and has been Penta practitioner since 2005. Currently, he is the president of IEC, the International Association for the Expansion of Conscientiology. So for us, it's a great pleasure to be together with him today. And I wish you all to have a great moment to talk and discuss with him. But I forgot to present myself. My name is Ulysses Schlosser. I am a psychologist and conscientiology researcher. I live here in Iguaçu Falls. I also work as a volunteer at CIEC since 2003. And currently I'm volunteering at the Holocycle in the team of conscientiologists and also in the CNEL. It is the International Council for Neologistics and Terminology of Conscientiology. So my friends, I would like to welcome you all, okay? And I think we may now start listening, Professor Cesar.
Hi everybody. First of all, great good evening for everyone who is listening to us now. Here in CIEC is 1 o'clock at afternoon. I would like to thank the opportunity by the bridge here, the team that are organizing this conference. And I would like to say too that this is the first time that I'm talking in English, a class in English. So I'm gonna, I think that I will be helped by my friends that are here. And excuse me, I would like to apologize myself for my English and eventually the accent of my English, okay? So let's start our presentation about the conscientiological Calepino, okay? First, what is this strange word, Calepino? In Portuguese, isn't so common. Maybe in other languages it's common. But in Portuguese, if you look at the principal dictionary of Portuguese that's called Vice, the meaning of the word Calepino, we have two basic meanings. First of all, is a list or ordered compilation of words, vocabulary, dictionary, lexicon. And the second one is book of or notebook for notes or consultation, like a calendar, agenda, etc. No? Why this name for this word? The second, please. Okay, thank you. The etymology of this word, the origin of this word, Calepino, comes from the anthroponymic of Ambrogio de Conte de Caleb, who was an Italian monk, author of a well-known Latin dictionary, used for centuries and translated into several European languages, which became over time a synonym of a broad vocabulary. So we have this Italian monk, isn't me, okay, in another past life, I would like to say that. And this person starts to collection a lot of words in Latin, and he made a dictionary. And this dictionary was very common, and a lot of people have this dictionary. They started to call Calepino, and then it starts to put notes of other languages, of anything that the person think that was interesting. And so, with the time, Calepino came with these two exceptions: one dictionary, and another is a kind of notes of the researcher. Huh? And when we do the translation of this concept to conscientiology, we propose the term conscientiological Calepino. The next one, please. Conscientiological Calepino is therefore a notebook or book of notes of a conscientiology student destined to be consulted within an orderly compilation, thus resembling a specialized lexicon with the results of his or her incessant researches. So, what is the conscientiological Calepino? Is just the notes of you. You are a conscientiology researcher, and you start to do a lot of notes. All the conjunct, how you say it? All the set of these notes are the conscientiological Calepino of you. Why I started with this? Maybe I need to talk about the history. I am in conscientiology since 1988. In 3 months, I will complete 30 years of voluntary and non-interrupted, okay, continuous voluntary. In 1994, Professor Valdeira asked for us in an advanced course of conscientiology to help him to do mega things, 3 vocabularies. Okay, is that? 3 vocabularies, mega things. Okay. And I started to do this research, and I collected thousands of this kind of mega things. And I research I did for about 10 years, but I stopped and then I continue, I stop and I continue, and in 2005, so 10 years ago, I was very upset with me, because conscientiology was growing up more and more. Professor Waldo was publishing one big book every 2 or 3 years. We had the Encyclopedia of Conscientiology. We had a lot of books and tertulias of Professor Valdeira, and I note that I was coming para trás, estava ficando para trás. How can I say, please?
I stated. Late. I was late.
I was late with these ideas. So in 2005, I started to do the technique of intellectual turn. Intellectual turn is a verbiage of encyclopedia, okay? Is an entry of the Encyclopedia of Conscientiology. Is a technique when you organize your time in cycles, in times to organize your day. And you put a lot of time to work with your mental soma, with ideas. And since that date, I started to work not less than 6 hours every day. And I studied for 10 years. I first started organizing my notes. Then I decided to read all the books of Conscientiology. And I just not read, I dissecate, how you say that? Dissecar? I dissecate all the books. And I start to put all in computer. And I work now with 137 files. And I have, in my last count, I had 22,000 pages wrote about all kind of notes. I started with the 3 vocabulary, megaphotines, like I said, but I note that some phrases cannot be put in that kind of form because you lost some part of the idea. So I started to collect the phrases. Then I constructed that we have kinds of phrases. We have phrases that are definitions, others are paradox, others are relations, others are just phrases, just citations. And in a time of that research, I note that some phrases, we have some ideas together that are not phrases, that when I put in just phrases, I lost the ideas. So I started to collect the ideas. And then I open another file with only the ideas. And after this, I constructed that I had a lot of ideas about some themes, right? Like intermissive course or like about retrocognition and other themes. And so I started to open a lot of files, and I stopped I conclude this phase of take the notes, organize the notes in January of last year, 2016. Since then, I started to organize these notes to publish books. And I'm now with 6 books that are in revision to publish. But I believe that in a few years I will have 16 books because I have this material practically finished. I will show you some books to.
I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay, no problem. This is the first book. It's just definitions of Mr. Valdier, 3,500. They are organized by themes. It's here. Okay. This is the first one. The second one is bigger. Is the Conscientiological Calepino, the original Conscientiological Calepino. This book has, in my opinion, what I see the better in Conscientiology in 30 years. is here. We have a lot of notes. I put here all the books that I read. It means that I read all the books, all the conscientials, all the journals, all the big books of Professor Valdo, all the encyclopedia of Conscientiology. I watched all the 2,263 tertulias of Mr. Valdeira, and I put all the courses that I did with 30 years of Conscientiology in the computer. So I did an exhaustive work. This book has 1,566 pages, and I think that is very interesting. And the people who saw this in a tertulia matinal, there is activity that we had here in CIEC some months ago, 6 months ago, they asked us to start activity to talk about these notes. And so I started here in Foz do Iguaçu every Sunday, that is today, from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. to talk a free lecture, and we do from 5 to 7. Thank you. And I think that sometimes we transmit these activities by internet, and I think that we will start more and more to do this. This is another book. I wrote this in a request from Stais. It's just a lecture introductory of Conscientiology and Projectiology. The old ones made by IPC, I did a little book. It's very interesting because we have a lot of illustrations. It's for people who are maintaining contact with Conscientiology for the first time. But this is a very little. This book, for me, is the one of the most important. We have a page, an entry of encyclopedia called Auto-Thoughting Schedule. I think is that
self-socialization schedule.
Okay.
Self-socialization.
Self-socialization schedule. Okay. What is this technique? You put a lot of every idea that you think that you should think about it. You can put in a row, in a list. When you have time to think about it, you use your time to think about it. So here, I put it among all these notes that I had, the principal notes who affect me very much. And every time that I had, I used to read it, and helps me a lot. It has 700 pages, and this, in truth, is a book of one edition only, just for me. Okay, and this is another book. Is the book of Inexistences of Conscientiology. We have 5,000 inexistences, and that is another technique. Inexistences of Conscientiology. I will show an example. You don't have Conscientiology without the principle of Conscientiology. Okay? So this is an inexistence of Conscientiology. You don't have idea without other. It's just an example, but you have a categorization, classification. Okay, I have the sixth one that I don't bring here today, but is about citations of Professor Valdeira. I am working today in a big book with more than 1,000 of pages about auto-conscienciometrical questions. Is similar to Conscienciogram, a book of Mr. Valdeira, but is much more impactoterápico. Is much more aggressive, the questions, okay? Is more than 10,000 of questions. And Marcelo da Luz, that is a person that works with me, is now working in a classification of paradox that we collected. And so I would like to show just a few books, and I can did that in just don't time, just in 1 year, 1 year and a half, because I worked for 10 years collecting these materials, okay? And I would like to say, what I am intending with this lecture is to inspire the persons to organize their ideas, because I noted that in Conscientiology, it's very common a person to go through a course, have a lot of inspirations from himself or from helpers, from other persons, and these notes much times stay on only in a paper, who is put in a place that you don't see for a lot of time. And it's very interesting because I think that a lot of things that we should know, we know yet, but we need to reflect about them. And I think that the principal person who was helped by this organization was myself, okay? Excuse my English, okay? I am trying here. I'm doing an effort. Okay, let's go ahead, please, in the templates. Conscientiological Calepino. I am talking. I talked about the research, like everything, but now I'm talking about the book. The book of Calepino, synonyms. Anti-corrupting annotations, conscientiological notes, except for works of conscientiology, cosmovisiological notes, cosmoethical thoughts, cues of cognition, emphatic rationale of conscientiologists, recycled ideas, reflections of a press serenissimus, spots of self-evaluation. The next one, please. Ratings about this book. 1 volume, 1,566 pages. I have 6,846 ideas classified from A to Z. From this 6,000, I have 1,800 written codes from material wrote of conscientiology, and 5,000 of class notes, principally the classes of Mr. Valdeira of Tertulias. I have mini Tertulias too, I have another kind of notes, but principally Tertulias. In the bibliographic references, I have 337 written bibliographic references and 2,800 bibliographic references from courses and events. Okay. Here, I am suggesting just an example of the kind of work that I did. If you look at YouTube, a video, a tertulia of Mr. Valdeira called Effect of Self-Seriaxiality in Seriaxiology, it's very easy to find in YouTube. If you look in the 1 hour and 19 minutes to 1 hour and 23 minutes, you will see idea from Mr. Valdeira about something very interesting that is in another template, please. Here you are seeing the class notes, okay, that I did based on the video of Mr. Valdeira. When you see a person giving a class, normally the class has a lot of mannerisms, some words that you need to take out to put strictly what you think that is the principal idea that the person is talking. So this was a great challenge, you know, to do this without take out important ideas. But if you see the video and you see the idea that are here, you will see the work that I did. It's just an example, okay? And they are telling me that I have just 5 minutes. So in the other templates here, please download. I put first some ideas about this kind of research. You know? And so, for example, when you pick up sentences and put together, there is a phenomenon that is very interesting, that another idea is going up from these ideas that was separated. You know? And so this is, I put here some ideas. You can go ahead, please. This is about something that I noticed that sometimes I read a book, a big book, and I just take one mega pensing and mega so thin. No? And so this is another challenge. No? We have some books that we have a lot of ideas, and other books we don't have much ideas. You know? The another one, please. And our ideas. The best thought is a quotation exposing the name of the thinker. When I could, I do that. Sometimes when the idea I change it. Sometimes I don't put the name of the thinker, because I think that I was attributing ideas that are from the person, okay. But when I use the ideas from the person, I put the name, the quotation, the date, the event. You know? And I think is that in the presentation, I will finish. Okay, I can. If you look the templates after this conference, you will see some examples of Calepino, Conscientiological Calepino. But my 30 minutes, I am finishing, and now I'm disponible to answer questions. If I can help, I am here. I'm seeing there is a lot of people that I know, Liliana, Jeff. Excuse my accent, Jeff. I am trying here. Marcel, Willy, Joseph Leiva, Gustavo Bon from Germany, Andrea Luis, Simone. It's a great honor to be here. So is that. And I am here.
Well, my friends, thank you, Cesar. It was a very nice exposition. Well, I would like to start some questions. I would like to make a question to you and open the subject to everybody. But at first, I'd like to make a remark about, it's very interesting, your extensive approach on the experience. Maybe most of all, it's really an extensive record of experiences, of notes, appointments, and maybe this work may have a result to you in a kind of overview, high quality overview about conscientiology today and about the last years. And I am curious about the consequences of this overview in your future. And how do you see today the development of conscientiology? And also, what are your plans today in result of all this work? Your inspirations? Could you say something about that?
Okay. For me, I am accompanying the Conscientiology since 1988, for 30 years. And it's very clear for me that Conscientiology nowadays is very different from Conscientiology in the beginning. We can say now that we are at Conscientiology 3.0 or 4.0. I don't know what version we are here, but I am sure that we have some principles of conscientiology, like the principle of conscientiology, that don't change. But some ideas change, and I think that this is very salutary because we are science. And so, for me, it's very clear that in a few years, we will have Conscientiology 5.0, 6.0, right? And in 100 years, we will have another kind of conscientiology that we are having today. So, Ulysses, you are very exact when you say that this book is like a photo of our time, of conscientiology of our time. No? A person who read this book just a few days ago told me that in his opinion, this book was a collective patrimônio. How you say? Patrimônio coletivo. A collective patrimônio. Okay, because if you say that we have some ideas very stentoric, stupendous ideas. No, I don't. I think that is a lot of ideas are very common. Are ideas from our time. No? And so is what I would like to say about your first part of your question. No? And my plans now from in the future. I would like to publish all these books. I have, like I said, 16 books, almost finished. I need just a few years. And I think that if I do that, I can consider myself a mini completista, how you say, a mini complex. And I am working with that. I have some books that I have a lot of carinho, how you say, carinho? Affection. I like very much two books. One of these books is the book of the principles of conscientiology. Conscientiology nowadays works with more than 1,000 of the specialties or sub-sciences, if you prefer. And I collected more than 20,000 of these principles. Like, for example, in Newtonian physics, you have the principle that two bodies can't occupy the same place at the same time. Okay. In praxeology, you have a principle that says that every proaxis, existential problem, can be adapted. No? for a person, depends on the time, the persons, the people. You have some clausulas petris, you have some ideas that you cannot change, but in a part of praxis you can adaptate it. And this is a principle of proexology. So, like this principle, I have 20,000, more than 20,000 of these principles. And I think that the person who reads this book, that has more than 1,000 pages, can have a vision of how works the evolutionology in cosmos. It is a very a challenge, very desafiante, né? Very, very challenging. But I think it's possible, and it's almost done, because the ideas are there. I just need to organize them. And I'm intending to do a big book about Homo sapiens despertus, or the Homo sapiens evolutionologicus. That is my opus major. That I think that I need more 10 years to finish, but I am intending to do that. So these are my plans. I'm using this Labicon, this experience to inspire other people to do the same with his notes or her notes, to organize, to review them, to extract the inspiration of the helpers of his internship course that sometimes is lost in an old book. I think that this is the idea, and in principle to talk more about this, because we have a lot of response, a lot of advanced ideas that Mr. Vieira talked with us, but in a brief time, in a short time, and we need to talk more about it, to understand more between us. Mr. Vieira has what we call the vertical existence, and we recognize in him a person with much more experience. But he told us, inclusive, that this was a problem sometimes, because when he talks some ideas, the persons don't ask him, take the idea like absolutism, but it wasn't good, and we need to talk more between us. That we call the horizontal assistance, and I think that this is the plan. Okay, let's go ahead.
I have a question. It's just more a comment. I think you answered that already. Can you hear me? But it's about what you said about motivating people to create their own, to pretty much organize their own notes, and eventually put that together like you did to create a notebook that can be shared. So can you elaborate more on that?
Okay.
If I understood correctly.
The question is if I can explain or I need to organize my
Maybe because we couldn't hear all the question. If she could ask again.
Simone, we don't listen to you in the beginning of your speech, but I understand that you need to know how I need to organize my notes in practical. Is that?
Yes, if that is the recommendation for that you, which I think you already answered, okay. But I just want you to elaborate a little bit more. That if I understood you correctly, the idea is for to have more people organizing their own notes, correct?
Okay. I have a lot of suggestions. Okay. The first of the suggestions is to start a time to work with mental sonar, with the ideas. Because a lot of people in conscientiology nowadays works with Penta, the technique of Penta, okay? But Penta works principally with energetic body. Like the Penta, I suggest you to establish an hour to work with ideas every day. You can start with 30 minutes if you cannot more. But if you started with this and you take serious, the tendency is to join up this period. And when you see, this is like in Portuguese, we say the cachaça. You like so much that you start with 30 minutes and then you go to 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. When I started, I had a lot of difficulty to stay more than 2 hours reading. Now I can stay 4 hours reading without move. And I sometimes I need to stop it obligatorily to go to a bathroom, to take water, because if I don't take care, I forget my body, right? And this is a problem. Right? You can call this technique mental somatic and technique, right? To stay every day working with ideas. And the second suggestion that I can give is to establish codes to read the material. Okay. For example, in my case, I have more than 100 of codes. I put at the side of what I am reading, codes like M3V is a mega pensene, mega sofim vocabulary. If I see that this is a good note for reflection, I put reflex pass. It's like personal reflection. Okay, you can put PS, for example. Or PR, and I suggest you do that. Right? But principally, you need to start it because the people, the life passes too fast, and if you don't do that, when you see you are in conscientiology for 20 years and you didn't read what you need to read, you didn't organize what you need to organize. You have a lot of notes, but they are all in a different file. So I think that you need to start. Okay.
Who else would like to ask?
César, what conscientiological areas do you research?
Oh, I think that if I can classify, this is very difficult because conscientiology is very ample, right? It's very large.
Right.
I think that is experimentology. Because experimentology, everything that it puts in practice is experimentology, and I like this very much. I always like to work with ideas in a practical manner. Okay, but I think that the result of this work is evolutiology too, because when I saw the result of more than 20,000 of principles of conscientiology specialties, I think that this is a work that works directly with this specialty, evolutionology. But I have a lot of files about some ideas, and some kinds of these files are very large too. For example, proexology. I have a file about proexology that are the principal ideas about this theme that I take it from all tertulias that Mr. Valdiera told to us, and all the books that I read of Conscientiology. And I have another file about intermissive course that is intermissiology, is another large file. And I have another's about the retrocognition or retrocognitiology or seriaxiology, if you like. I have one file about my last life that I know who I was. I have a file about another retrocognitions and about the phenomenon of retrocognition. And I have another file about a cotejo seriaxiológico, about a seriaxiological comparison about the person nowadays and who was her or him in a past life. And this is a very interesting file. But is that if I stay here, I needed to one bridge just to talk about all the files that I have. But this is very interesting. When I started with this, I didn't imagine that I will now with so much pages written and so many ideas. I started and I take it very seriously. I worked for more than for 10 years. No? Every day, 6-7 hours, every day. Sometimes I was working 10 hours, 14 hours. I have here, please. Thank you. Is that okay, Marcelo? So depends what the person likes, because it's a very large, extensive research.
Okay.
Liliana, let's go.
What I wanted to say, I want to thank you for this presentation.
I'm not listening. The sound is very low.
Okay. I would like to thank you for this presentation. It's very exciting, and I hope that you will have access to
Liliana, we are not listening you. Excuse me.
I can listen.
Okay.
Ulysses is listening you, and he will talk with me. Please repeat, please.
Okay. I was saying I want to thank you for the presentation, and I hope that we can have access to some of these books soon, so that we can have more ideas coming. But it was already an eye-opener, because as you say, we have so much stuff, for years and years, and if we don't get organized, I think we even lose the perspective of what is it that we are doing here with Conscientiology, what is our progress, where we were and where we are today. And it's a great idea. So if there is any chance that sometime soon you will give us more, I don't know, techniques or on how to organize the volume of work, but it's already very good what you transmitted today. That helps a lot. It gave me a number of ideas to organize my stuff as well, so that's great.
Okay. I think that the facts orientates the research, okay? And so we need to start. Right? When you take a theme that you like it, the tendency is that theme, you will put a lot of ideas, a lot of notes in this theme, but you will see that you will have another ideas, another notes about other themes that you cannot put aside. And you will be obligated, okay, to open another files, to don't lost these important ideas for you. So I know that I am repeating what I said a few minutes ago, but I think that the key of a great research is to start. When you start and you have the commitment with yourself to don't lose the ideas, the principal ideas, you start to organize, and you will put, if you put one idea in one file, but the research goes in another way, and you see that the idea should be in another file, no problem. You take from one file and put in another. And I did that a lot of times. But the principal idea is that you will revisit your ideas, you reflect about it, and you will organize your ideas. And I think that this is it's a very interesting experience because I frequented, I saw hundreds of courses of conscientiology in these 30 years. And I had a lot of inspirations, reflections, principally from helpers and from teachers and from myself too. And was very important ideas and impacts you very much when you see a note that you wrote 10 years ago, and you see suddenly that you don't change anything, or you maybe for one reason you forgot, right? You don't remember about it. And when you saw and suddenly you say for yourself, oh my God, I am here like I was 10 years ago, or I am worse. You need to do something about it. Right? And I think that this is the challenge. This is it's the way. Né? Hi, Gustavo. You are in Germany now, Gustavo?
Yeah, I'm in Bonn.
Oh my God.
Attending the UN climate change conference.
Oh, interesting. I will be in Florianopolis in 22 of November,
Yes.
giving a Calepino there.
Yeah.
You will be there?
I will be there.
In Germany yet?
No, I'm going back now on the 17th.
Ah, okay. So we will see.
So I'll be there.
There, okay. Will be an interesting experience to do a Calepino activity there.
Yeah, I agree. So, but let me ask you, Cesar. Since I started my Penta back past February, I kind of had this urge to associate it with writing, handwriting, and before the Penta, like for an hour, I have this it's like a need that I have to put ideas on the paper. Do you think that's a good approach? It's a good strategy to associate writing with and studying, of course, with the Penta hour, like before the Penta or after?
Oh, I think that is a good approach, no? Because when you start to read before Penta, you will calm your thoughts, no? To be better prepared to do the Penta. No? And if you do notes after the Penta, probably you put in a paper some reflections that can bring it to you in the Penta. No? So I don't see problems to put them together. No? The only problem is if you put in the paper some assistances that you do in the penta, no? That can make evocation, okay, of the cases that you are treating in penta. And I don't suggest that, okay? I suggest you put in an indirect way to don't be identified the case, no? But I think that everybody should have a file about his own experiences, paraphenomenal experiences. This is very interesting. And are not only the penta, but all the phenomena that occurs with you. And this is a file that I have too, and I am intending to publish maybe a book in a few years about it. But it's a very interesting technique, Gustavo. I do that too. When I can do, if I can stop some minutes before the penta, it's very interesting to calm your thoughts, to start an approach with the helpers. Helps a lot of improves the quality of your penta. Okay.
Yeah, I tried like start with 15 minutes before, and then I saw that sometimes I was extending the writing on the penta hour. So I started to come earlier and earlier, and now like I'm 1 hour before the penta, I sit down to write, and then it doesn't go on the penta specific hour.
Okay. You need to be open to the inspirations. No? Sometimes if you need to eventually enter in the time of penta, sometimes if you feel that, I don't think it's a problem. But I am understanding you that when you start to organize yourself, the time much and much more growing up. No? You start with 10 minutes, then goes to 30, then it goes to an hour, and then it goes to 10 hours. It's very interesting, very interesting.
So if I may ask one more question, I was listening to I was in the bus coming here to the conference, so I was listening. So I may have missed some things that you said, but I heard that you said that for the past 10 years you were like studying 6 hours a day.
Yes, exactly. Not less than 6 hours a day.
But did you start studying this much from one day to the other? Okay, from now on I will start 6 hours.
No. I started with 1 hour, 2 hours a day, because I don't support more than 2 hours working with mental soma very highly. And so I started 1, 2 hours, and then I was growing up with the hours.
And now this time, 6 hours, I don't know, it works well for you.
Yes, Gustavo. When in 2005, I was working with the ideas, but not in a full compromise with myself, okay? In 2005, I came to Florianópolis, from Florianópolis to Foz, okay? And I don't have anything to do here yet. Maybe some works in IAC, but I don't have much more things to do. And so I organized myself to go to Holoteca at 8 o'clock, the time it opens. I stayed there till 11 or 11 and a half, okay, o'clock. I eat it, and then I watched the tertulia of Mr. Valdeira. 3 o'clock I was at Holoteca again, and I take it to 7 o'clock when Holoteca closes, and I go into my house and I continue to read it till 11, midnight, 1 o'clock. I don't have a TV at my house at that moment, and I did that a lot of years. Right? What I'm trying to say is that before 2005, I was growing the schedule, but in 2005, I was fully accomplished and I started to work not less than 6 hours a day. And I did that for one decade.
Yeah.
Okay, but I agree with you. You not support to start because your brain melts when you start to read. Principally, the big books of Mr. Valdier. There is a phenomenon very interesting in that kind of books. When you have a lot of ideas that you read, you think that you read it, and you think that you understand. But when you read again, you saw that you are not understanding full. And it's a very interesting phenomenon. And I have a lot of books that I read 3-4 times. Is that?
Okay.
Hi, Cesar. I have a question. I am a data analyst in my day-to-day life, and I work with a large amount of data. And you have a large amount of conscientiological data. So I was reflecting with your lecture. Have you ever thought to put conscientiological data in a formal database and plan to do some analysis to extract patterns to make some analysis?
I thought one time to do that, but I have a problem because a lot of notes that I have talk about the life of the people, and there are some kind of data or some kind of notes that we cannot share with another people that can be wrong used. Okay, so what I think that I should extract from all data that I had, I did in these 137 files. So I don't need to, I think that I don't need to revisit this data. Everything that is like when you suck an orange and you throws away the bagaço, I don't know how to say, the fruit, that you don't read more. I think that I did with this material. I saw, I have yet this material in my house, but to extract this 22,000 of pages, I read it 7,000 pages is a lot of material. Is that?
Thank you.
Everything is okay with you? My English isn't so bad. This is my first time, okay? I told in the beginning of this conference that you must have a lot of comprehension, okay? Jeff, let's go.
No, I don't have any question or anything, guys. I was just going to make a comment and laugh with you about about what you were saying. Your English is good, man. Just relax. You're warming up.
Okay.
You're warming up. Just begin.
Okay. Thank you.
But I didn't catch it. I do have a question. I didn't catch if you said the Calepino. Is it going to be published? Is it going through the Atari? Are we going to be able to buy that, or what's the situation?
I didn't understand. Please help me with English.
Vai ser publicado?
If it will be published. Oh, I am trying to publish, okay? Today is in epigraphy, to analyze it. Okay, one book that is the Calepino. The other one, the introduction, is in studies. We published. Lilian told me in, I think, maybe 1 month. Okay.
Great.
Is that I am working with one book in another place, another book in another place. When we finish one book and I will put another, I have a problem today. That is, I have a file now, a list of books, and I can't put all books in a place. I need to finish one, to put another, and so I am making a list of books.
Sure. Hey, are you also going to make an electronic copy version available?
Yes. I am intending to do in an electronic way. And if it depends on me, I will translate to English and to Spanish too, because I have recourses to do that.
Yep.
And, it's easy, but I need first to publish.
Sure.
Then it's easy to contract a translator, the preference of a conscientiologist to do the translation. I am in to do that. But
it's good to know.
A easy way. Okay, man.
I know.
You know that.
I know.
We are all trying. We are all trying this.
Why do you think I'm losing my hair? You too, huh?
Okay. I am intending to go to Oman in someday. You know that today in the energetic field of the recycle of the religious thought things that is occurring in San Mental and this weekend. The principal idea that came in the camp, in the field, for me, is to take again the idea to write the letter, to go ahead with the project of Oman. And I will talk with you in a few days, okay?
Great. Gracias.
Okay, thank you.
So, my friends, we have more 8 minutes before the energetic exercise. So, any question more? I have a question or a suggestion to Cesar. Considering that your work is very extensive, I was thinking about ways of organization. One way should be you prepare material to be easy for other people to access it. Imagine, for instance, a big book about the Conscientiological Calepino. If it could be published in an electronic way, imagine that, for instance, if I am looking for a specific subject, I could make a search and find that subject to be easier for anyone who would also look for any subject. So this is the suggestion. Imagine that you have a big word, a lot of words. It's not easy to read everything, but it may be useful for people to research, to look for information. Okay, if it's possible for you to think about anything electronic to make research easy. So, the second suggestion, as we also can see, you write books, a few of them, lectures, and they are little books, they are those big books. So for instance, Professor Mulder wrote 700 experiments. It's a big book. And he wrote another little book, What is Conscientiology? It's like an abstract of the big work. So this would be the second suggestion. If you have an extensive work, if you could also write like a synthesis of it, make it easy for other people to really and access the work. See? Because I myself, I am interested, but I am thinking, oh, how can I read everything?
Okay, these two suggestions are very good. No? The first one, I said that I am intending to do to publish the big book, the Calepino, 1,000 editions. Okay, is one idea, but I'm intending to put this in an electronic way to facilitate the persons who needs to consult some idea. And I think that this is the way that possibilities that in the activity in Calepino that we make every week, man, they vote a theme in a week, and then I can prepare a class from another week. Man. I only can do that because I have this kind of search, no? To extract the ideas about a thing that is the interest of the people. But so is this. The first suggestion, I will do that. The second one, to do a little books from the big ones, I think that can be think in the future. But nowadays, I am compromising with myself and with the helpers to put away all these 16, 17 books that I have almost finished. And I am working with that idea to put away. And then after this, I can take a little books from them. No? And one phenomenon very interesting that is occurring today is that I am much more interested now in extensive books with a lot of ideas than just publish a book. When I started to construct these books, I think that was a little interested to publish a book. But now, no. Now I'm interested to do good books. For example, I am working. I have 1 year and 8 months that I'm working and I made 6 books. This book that I'm working today, that is the 7th book. I am working with him in the last 9 months. And when I had it almost finished, I throw all in the garbage because I don't like it, the results. And I started all again from the beginning. It's very crazy, but it's what I did. To understand the people who is listening, I take it this. I had 14,000 of questions, almost 15,000, and I take it a lot of repetitions, and I have 12,000 questions, but I don't like it because there are some ideas that aren't represented in that book and should be there. And so I started again to be calm with myself that some ideas that should be there now are there, okay? And this is what I'm doing. And I have this list now totally finished, cleaned. I take the repetitions, and I'm just now classifying this 12,000 of questions in the mega atributos da consciência, mega attributes of consciência, of consciousness, that are that 20 mega attributes. To understand better just 20 mega attributes, and I think that will be an interesting book to show in a practical way what is, for example, the purification of a consciousness, what is the evolutive, ficha evolutiva pessoal, personal evolutive file, okay, and other ideas like that. So is that, I know that my time is almost finished, and I just would like to say that one idea from Mr. Valvier that I put it in the templates that you will read after is a little idea from Orto Pensatas lexicon from Valvier. For mega intruders, the publication of Orto Pensatas represents a breach with the subversive creed of their internal intrusions. Would you like to do interconsciential assistance? Write and publish great thoughts. I think that this technique to organize your notes, your files, it's a very powerful technique to take out the influence of the intruders, of the mega intruders, if you prefer, because to put you with more self-confidence, self-esteem, and other good sentiments, good feelings. Okay. So I think it's that. Huh? Everybody's okay? Thank you. Thank you very much. And now we will go and start the MBA. Is that MBA?
Yes. Energetic mobilization of energy.
Okay. We have 10 minutes to do that. So let's start. Okay. So please close up your eyes. Let's first begin feeling your body. Determine yourself to calm your thoughts. We need to see if you have some inspirations of the helpers. Feel your energies. And then we will start with the circulation of energies from the head to the feet, and then successively from feet to head, more and more fast, to alcance the vibrational state. Put the maximum effort to do the vibrational state. And then start to do our exteriorization of energies to your place. A very powerful exteriorization you are a great field of energy that is growing up in all directions. You are doing assistance for you, your neighbors, all around your place. Stay more a few minutes. And then now you can start to absorb the energies from all your body. You note mentally how you feel with the energies, and let your mind open to see if you have some idea from you or helpers to help you in your mental somatic work. Note the ideas, and now we can stop the work with energies. Open your eyes. Taking the control of your body. Okay? Everybody is okay? Now?
Data do próximo, 26 de novembro. Vai haver um prêmio de curso espanhol. O título de UBEX. UBEX.
Thank you, Professor Cesar. It was a very nice experience to hear from you about your extensive work. We wish all to read your books very soon. And thank you all for the presence. I'd like to tell you about the next encounter reach. It will be 26th of November with the Professor Aline Bittencourt. The subject will be urbex. Okay? So see you next time. Thank you all for coming. Thank you once more, Professor Cesar. Want to talk?
I would like to.
Professor Cesar has a few more words.
I would like to thank you too, the opportunity to people that watch it and the people here who helped us to do this conference. Thank you very much. Shukran, Daniel, and other languages. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.